There was a huge need for community agencies and the broader community to have an honest, current understanding of the needs and strengths facing local youth. The Healthy Kids Colorado survey really helps make sure that our organization and all the partners in the community have that solid understanding on what's going on in the lives of youth. The Healthy Kids Colorado survey is incredibly important because it is a large data set. So we look at aggregate results from students throughout our community, middle through high school, and helps us identify key themes going on in the lives of students. With that information, school administrators and other community leaders are able to make sure that the services they offer are really on par with what students need and want. We have a lot of nonprofits that work with kids in the community, and so to be able to gather our organizations together and look at this data and how it relates to each of our specific missions, and then to go look for funding and consider programming where we can work together to maximize the impact and leverage our resources using this data has been really valuable. And that gets me really excited for us to be able to look long-term at how we can make an impact on student behaviors. We're able to say with confidence that here in Eagle County, about $4 million per year is brought into the community for students and families and the supports that are offered to them that utilize the Healthy Kids Colorado data to tell the story and tell that need.
I think a lot of times in schools, adults try to make the decisions for people and the students that they serve, but at the same time, we don't take the time to ask them really what they need and how they're feeling. And so Healthy Kids gives us an opportunity to do that, really get the opinions and get kind of a comprehensive anonymous survey, use student voice, make an adjustment in how we serve kids, and then see an actionable result. I think it's important for a school district to have that open communication with parents and really explain why we're doing things. Although there is an opportunity to opt out, I usually try to meet with parents prior to and really explain to them why we use the data, how we use the data, why we ask the questions we ask. Canyon City is a rural school district, and because of that, we don't get as many opportunities that maybe some of the big city school districts get. We've been able to utilize our Healthy Kids Colorado survey data on grant applications, which have turned into over $2 million in grant awards over time. It allows us to get youth voice and really tailor our resources where they're most needed.
The Healthy Kids Colorado survey feels different for students because this is a survey that's anonymous. Their teachers are not going to get to see their answers, their parents aren't going to get to see their answers, so they can trust that their data is really, their answers are really anonymous, and so they can be honest. And then we also use the data to say, okay, what do our young people need? Once they have the education, how do they create a vision and hope and goals for themselves? We felt when young people had a vision for their future and goals for the future, they were less likely to engage in risky behaviors today. So we've done many, many things that ensure that when our students say, look, I'm struggling with my mental health, or I'm engaging in risky behavior, that we have a support and a resource either in our building or we've developed collaborations outside of the community to connect. And that comes from knowing from the data that this is a concern. We've been able to increase our graduation rate, we've been able to increase our post-secondary attendance rate, and all that came from looking at what young people were telling us they were missing in their lives and then responding to some universal and some targeted kinds of needs. We come from a very high poverty community, and Healthy Kids Colorado has helped us bring millions of dollars, quite frankly, into our community. And without the knowledge that these were concerns, then we wouldn't have been able to go after that funding. And it has reminded us as a school community that we need to tap into that and to remember that the strength of our community comes from connection. And when our young people feel connected, not only to the school, but to the community, that they do better.